Okay guys, this is Draco J coming to you with the first vid. This is what if Deku was part of a triplet crew and they each had their own element. So we're gonna start the story off with the day he's born. But instead of just him, it's him and his two brothers. Hisashi and Inko are looking at their children, wondering why each of their hair looks different. And how come one of them have black and white hair, one has white and the other one has blue hair. The doctor says it could be part of their part of their latent quirks. It could be a mutation. So the Hisashi and Inko go along with this and take their three children home. As they're on their way, and she starts to feed the babies. One of them starts to levitate the bottle, but it's not actually the bottle he's levitating. It's the liquid inside. He has liquid manipulation. Anything liquid based is under his control. His name is... Sorry guys, my phone kinda tapped out. His name is AC. And Izuku's other brother's name is... His name is Zero. His abilities include earth manipulation. He can control any mineral that exists on the planet, even meteorites, because meteorites are earth-based. And Izuku's abilities are air manipulation, which gets him to a point where he can fly, he can control the air in people's lungs. He can make air blades out of his out of air, basically. Air manipulation is basically his whole deal. So we're gonna time skip to when they're all four, and they're all in class hanging out with each other and their friend Bakugo. But Zuko calls him Kachan, and the others just call him Baki because they don't feel like saying his own name. At this time, Bakugo got his quirk, and everybody's praising him, saying, "Oh, your quirk is so cool, Bakugo! It's so amazing! I can't wait to get our quirks. I bet we're gonna get quirks better, as good as yours, or even better." And then Bakugo comes up to them and says, "You three don't have quirks. You're not gonna get quirks better than me. There's no way that's gonna happen." These three just look at each other and look at him and says, "Well, we have our hair colors are different, and our mom and dad says that's because we have mutation quirks, which means we're actually gonna have quirks, Bakugo." And then Bakugo looks at them and thinks that, do they really have quirks? Are they get quirks better than mine? No way, that it can't happen. And then he just says, "There's no way that's gonna happen. You're just used to Deku and your twin brothers. Bakugo just storms off and is in a bad mood. Three brothers they get interested in thinking that we definitely have quirks. On their way home, Inko is driving them to the store. And as they stop to get out, their mom gets out, Inko gets out and gets them something to drink and snack on. And then on their way back to their home, one of the three brothers AC tries to use his quirk and levitates everybody's drinks. And that actually surprises Inko and Tora and Izuku. Sorry for the starting, guys. I'm a little bulimic, but I guess that's okay. So but what the fuck, it doesn't matter. Okay, so back to the story. So when he starts using his abilities, he's taken to the quirk doctor, and as they're waiting, Izuku and Taro starts to try to use both of their quirks in the same way that AC did. Okay, but if you haven't noticed, AC is the one on the right of the screen, Izuku's the one in the middle, and Taro's the one on the left. Okay, so back in the story. So when this happens, the doctor says, can he see all three of them? Because if one of them got the quirk, the other two should have it too. So they all three go in. First person to go up is AC, since he's the one who got his quirk and it actually showed. So the Dark Doctor runs a few tests and says that he has liquid manipulation. Anything liquid based is basically under his control, and this is a really amazing quirk to have. He's going to become a great hero. AC smiles at this, and Equal asks, "But no one in our family has a water quirk." Their doctor said, "Well, this is part of his mutation quirk, so he might develop more abilities over the period of time. So it could be that when you or your husband's ancestors had a water quirk, and it skipped a few generations and passed down to your son." And then he asks Sarah to go in next, and he figured out that he has mineral manipulation. He can control any mineral or any solid substance, such as rocks, metal, meteorites, magma, since it has metal, it has minerals in it too. And then at some point, his quirk will also get stronger with time. And then Equal says, "Wow, that's really amazing. My sons are very cool." And then they bring in Izuku. And then he runs a few more tests. And then comes out and says, "Well, your son's quirk, this one's quirk is very special, a bit rarer than the other two's." And Inko says, "Oh, what's wrong with it? Is it something good, or is it bad?" Ma'am, there is no such thing as a bad quirk, just a bad person. So I would just want to state that first. But let me just say that it's nothing bad. It's that his quirk is air manipulation. He can control air, basically. And at some point he will be able to, just like his two siblings, it will grow over time to where they can just do it by thinking. Right now they have to focus and concentrate to be able to use their quirks. But I say that all three of your children will be able to become great heroes. You should be very happy now. Well, thank you. Well, I have other patients to see today. You three will become great heroes. And please have a nice day. Come on, boys, let's go home. The three look at each other and say, "We're gonna become the best heroes, strongest all might." And on their way home, they go to sleep and whatnot. And then the very next day, they go at school. They go to Bakugo and everybody else, saying, "We got our quirks." And the Bakugo just looks at them, saying, "No, you didn't. Show us. Prove it." Trying to boast to them. They said, "Okay, well, we're gonna go in order." Izuku goes first, and then starts to use the wind pressure around everyone and then blows it around the room, causing a little tornado in his hand. And then he kind of loses control and just puffs up into air and blows around the whole room, making papers fly everywhere. AC's the next one. He gets everybody's water bottles and just sucks out the water out of all of them, and then just starts to play with it in his hand and makes a little drizzle inside. Taro goes next, and he just gets a little piece of clay and starts to shape it in midair. And everybody's saying, "Oh wow, your quirks are better than the Bakugos. It's so amazing, you three will become great heroes." As this is going on, and they're receiving praise, Bakugo is thinking, how can they have better quirks than mine? It's not possible. He starts getting little explosions in his hands, and goes up to AC and Terra, tries to hit them in the face with explosions, really trying to hurt them. So what happens next is Izuku starts to lift him off the ground, saying, you can't bully my brothers. Bakugo says, let me down, Deku. Who said you can do this to me? Deku, AC, and Taro just looks at him like he's crazy, because he literally just tries to assault them, and he says, he's trying to justify the fact that he tried to hurt them first and that he's trying to get away with it, but that's not happening. So Deku puts him down and says, well, you're not bullying my brothers anymore, and you should probably train up if you want to at least get to where we are now. And then the three brothers just go to their seats and have a normal day at school. We're gonna time skip 3 years. So when the boys are 7. And what happens is, after 3 years of training, they ask their parents to send them to martial arts training so they can defend themselves better. Hisashi says okay, but Ingo wants them to be careful, and that says that you have to do your best, because if you want to become a good hero. And back to when they're 7. All 3 of them are training together, and then something happened. Bakugo surprised attacked the 3 of them with an explosion to their backs. But what he didn't notice is the fact that each of them turned into their element. Terra was turned hard as steel. Izuku became air itself, and AC became water. His body liquefied, while Deku's body just turned into air, and Terra's body really just turned into steel. Bakugo looks at them. They looked at themselves and said, wow, it looks like our quirks got even better. And they just turned back to Bakugo saying, what's the big deal? Why would you do that? We didn't even mess with you. Bakugo was thinking, like, how can they do that? You never did do that before. Dang it, I should run. Bakugo tries to run away, but Deku picks him up with airflow, and then AC makes it look like he wet his pants. Wow. While Terra actually just puts him on the ground and to where his feet are stuck. But when the teacher comes, they immediately just fix him up, drying off his pants and then sending him on his way. At the end of the day, they go with their mom back to the quirk doctor, and he tells them that, well, as I was saying a couple of years ago, your children's quirk have actually gotten better as like an evolution or so. Now they're actually able to become the element that they control, which I think this is their full property of their mutation quirk. So I'm thinking that we should keep them here for a week or so that they can better control this ability, so they don't hurt themselves or the people around them. Ingo says, okay, but only for a week. The doctor says, don't worry, ma'am, nothing of harm will come to them. So we're gonna time skip another 4 years, where the children are 11 and they're starting middle school. Bakugo, this is what they look like, but a smaller version of these. So this is AC, this is Deku, and this is Terra. Yes, he's a boy. Terra is a neutral gender name. So yeah, the 3 boys go into school, and well, they don't have their tattoos yet, or at all, because they're 11 years old. They shouldn't have tattoos. But okay, back to the story. So the boys just hang out and sit down, enjoying the day. And then they just see Bakugo come up to him and says, and actually apologizes because he realizes that he can't beat them and he wants to get stronger, so he wants to train with them. And he asks if they could train with him to help him get better and improve himself. Deku looks at his two brothers and they just look at him, giving him the look like, this is up to you. So Deku takes a sigh and just says, well, okay, Bakugo, as long as you promise not to revert back to your old ways. Bakugo looks at him and says, yes, I will. I will try my best. Deku says, okay, that's all we need. So, after school, they all go back to the gym that Deku, AC, and Taro will go to work out. And this time, they bring Bakugo along. He's wondering where they take him because he's never seen this type of gym before. And they say it's a secret gym that even their parents don't know about. It's somewhere that the teenagers and preteens get to go to work out with their quirks. They get to use their abilities and work out with them to advance them and hire them. He looks at them like, how did they even know about this place? To put it short, when they were 9, they were walking around and kind of got lost. They accidentally found the place. They were invited inside and they registered for it and signed up. And ever since then, they've been working out there and at the regular martial arts class that their parents paid for. So back to the main topic. Okay, so after that, Bakugo walks inside and just sees a bunch of teenagers and preteens in a giant area for weightlifting, bodybuilding, and quirk use of different terrains. Think of the USJ, but for teenagers. Okay, so the Bakugo has his jaw dropped and Taro just goes up to him and closes it for him because Taro doesn't actually speak. He literally his brothers just know what he's saying. And okay, back on the topic. Sorry for trailing again. Yeah, so they just walk in and get to the changing room and look at the That's their body. He just looks at him like, for what? Oh yeah, you're gonna need this. He hands him a gym uniform with padding on the chest area and the back area and the elbow braces and knee pads and everything, but no helmet. Think a parkour outfit with skateboard equipment. So yeah, and they put it on, waiting for their turn at their designated areas. So Bakugo goes with Deku to the air area because it's kind of a mountain zone where you have to skydive to help you land safely. AC goes to the water area to try to focus on his water manipulation or his liquid manipulation, and Taro goes to the mountain area with them, but it's on the other half where where the earth people have super strength and earth-based quirks go to try to make their own mountains and try to take them down and manipulate them. And this goes on for a couple of years. We skip to the last day of middle school, and all you see is the 3 boys and Bakugo hanging out, walking into class, and they all look super ripped. Like, they're lean but ripped. Think of Bond from the 7 Deadly Sins. Yeah, so Bakugo is the same height, but the 3 boys actually grew taller than him. Right now, they're about 6'2" each, but with Deku a little taller than them, about 6'3". So, yeah. And we go to where the teacher says, "Oh, what do you want to do for your career?" And then says, like, "I know you all want to be heroes." Throw some papers on the floor. All the students are illegally using their quirks, illegally because you're not allowed to use quirks without license. So, except for Bakugo and the triplets. So, Bakugo is not so cocky now, so he doesn't say all his bullcrap about how all of you are just lucky to be sidekicks. You know that you're worthy to be heroes. Who do you think you are? And all his ranting about how much better the explosive Pomeranian he is. Damn, that's a hard word for me to say. Okay, so we go to where the three boys are walking back home and says goodbye to Bakugo at the gate of their school. And they go under the bridge, and then AC here feels that something's coming. All three of them feel like something is coming. So when the sludge villain jumps out and jumps at them, saying, "Give me your body, kid." "Oh wait, there's three of you. Give me what you need to give me your body." All three of them look at each other and like, "Is this guy a pedophile? I didn't know that freak was in town. Give me your body. I don't care which one. One of you are coming with me." All three of them are looking like this dude is a legit pedo. So AC just picks him up since he can control all liquids. He picks up the stupid sludge monster and says, "Yeah, no. That ain't happening. Like, no. What the heck is wrong with you? You are legit a pedophile." "What? I'm not. And then Deku just says, "Yep, you're a pedo." And then he says, "Wait, I'm not a pedophile." And then Taro just says, and then picks up a few bottles, and then points them at AC. AC just says, "Oh, you want me to put him in there? Good idea, Tara." So he just splits the sludge villain into three and puts them in bottles. And unknown to them, there's a person watching him. And this person, it was All Might. And All Might just says, he didn't say, he's thinking, "Wow, these three kids are amazing. They actually have some weird looking hairstyles, kind of like mine." Then he just comes out and says, "Oh yeah, I should probably feed," and says, "I am here." And all three of them just look back, like, "Another one?" It's like, oh no. And then AC and Deku are just going up to him, fanboying all over him, says, "Oh my god, it's All Might! It's All Might!" Well, Deku is the one fanboying while AC is like, sweet, nice to meet you, All Might." And Taro is just looking at him like, he doesn't say anything, he just bops his head saying, like you know that reaction, how you, when you say sup, you kind of bob your head. That's exactly what he did, but without saying sup. AC just says, "Oh, that means what's up." He's not a big All Might fan, he kind of likes Endeavor. And not Lady. And someone in Gran Torino. All Might looks at Tara like he knows about Gran Torino. These kids are pretty smart. And then he says, "Oh, yes, I am All Might, and I'm gonna need you to hand over the sludge villain." Yeah. Deku says, "Oh yes, here you go, All Might. We didn't mean to stop him, but it's self-defense." "Don't worry, children. I know it was self-defense. I was watching." And Tara just gives him a weird look like, "You're watching Gus get attacked by a villain." And he can literally feel that what Tara is saying in his head just by the expression on his face. Like, what is wrong with you? And AC just moves in front and is like, here you go. And Deku was the only one who actually wanted to ask, saying, can me and my brothers be a hero?" His two brothers just look at him like, wait, why do you ask that? He knows we can be heroes. But All Might says, "With your quirks, most certainly." Just kidding. Most certainly, children. Just young Midoriyas. Just work hard, and you'll become great heroes. Now I must be on my way. All Might jumps off, and the three triplets just with a smile on their faces walk the rest of the way. But they wanted to grab something to eat, so they go to McDonald's. And on their way there, they hear an explosion coming from the street. Because in this one, All Might still drops one of the with two of the bottles, and the sludge villain reforms Bakugo's body, but not without a fight. One of his eyes got injured from Bakugo because he has his aching shot. Well, that he has but he's way faster, and then the heroes can't do anything because of the fire and all the explosions because he's a hostage. So the three boys go into the front of the crowd saying, "What's going on? Why isn't the heroes doing anything?" And then they look, and Taro taps Deku and AC saying, telling them to look he's motioning them to look at the victim, and they just think Bakugo. So without a hesitant thought, all three of them just rush in to go save Bakugo. And the heroes are like, "Stop those children! They shouldn't be doing this." But they were able to stop them because Terra put up a giant wall in front of them. Well, not Terra, I'm sorry. Deku pushes them back with the airflow, but gently so he doesn't hurt the heroes. And what happens is Terra turns his body into a straight steel, grabbing Bakugo and pulling him out, ripping him out, while AC gets the sludge villain and turns him to a giant ball, and then compresses him down to like a marble size, but with all that liquid still there. And then his two eyeballs in the other hand, while Deku puts out the fires using his air manipulation. And then they, after the whole thing, All Might comes. All Might just watches them and saying, "Wow, these three children are, amazing. Maybe one of them can be the one." And they get scolded out by the heroes, but also praised for how amazing their quirks are and how admirable they were. The press tries to get an interview with them, but Deku just levitates them all while he makes them all float and takes them a few blocks away, including Bakugo. Bakugo says, "Thanks, Eric. Thanks. I couldn't get out of there by myself." And when he says that, Deku actually thinks that he's changed a lot over the 4 years. And he just says thanks again, and then walks the other way to his house. And when he does, All Might comes shooting out of this corner saying, "I am here!" And then immediately spews blood and becomes into, the cancer patient, All Might. All three of them get on guard except for, the two of them get on guard except for Terra. He just goes up to All Might and looks him up and down like, "Who the heck is this man?" Literally examining him, and then looks at the hair and says, The both of them gets their guard down and says, "Oh, so this is the real All Might." All Might just looks at Terra like, "Was he examining me?" And then looks at the other two boys. And he says, "How come you knew I was a real All Might?" "Oh, because Terra can tell who people by their physical shape and size." He says, "How?" "Oh, because he can control any mineral, including the iron in your bones, and all that stuff." "Wait, what?" "Oh yeah, he doesn't just control metal and earth, he controls all minerals, even meteorites." He's like, "I did not know that." He says, then he thinks that, and then he says, "Congratulations, I saw what you three boys did today. It was very admirable of you. And I would like to tell you three a story." I might explain to them his whole story about One for All. And all for one, telling him how he got his injury and that he's looking for a successor. The three boys look at each other and it's like, really? He says, yes. And I would like one of you three boys to head it. The three of them look at each other and then points to each other, saying they should have it. And then they play rock paper scissors for it. And Amai says, wait. Not right now. I want you guys to do something first. And that's where I'm gonna leave it at, guys. And what should happen next? Who should get one for all? And what does All-Might want them to do? All next time on What If Deku Was Triplets.